He's not finished it. We're going to finish the rest of this. You have the notes from last week, and not I may have extra here. Everyone needs a copy. Judges 3. And we went over God testing us, so we're going to finish on godly leadership. But then in addition, you have notes from Judges. We already need to make a copy of that. Does anyone need a copy of it all? In case someone needs it from last week, we're going to bring on the bottom part of that. After, I'm not going to do the whole book of Judges, because it's really a book of cycles, so we were going to do more of the top snow. We're going to focus more on anti-Christ activities that are going on. The world's going to focus on that. This is such an important teaching to the beginning because it deals with how God looks at leadership. I think the number one concern in our country today is do we have true leadership? And it's amazing how, if you look in the book of Judges, very few people adequately fill the role of being a judge because of leader as well. This evening we're going to look at one gentleman, Othniel, who was really, when you look at this man's life, how God blessed him, and how in his ancestry, his uncle was Caleb, who was one of the spies for Israel when they were going to go into the promised land. Caleb was the man of faith, and Jacob's faith. And apparently that transferred to Othniel, who was his nephew. Godly leadership, agency. Godly leadership is key to lead in God's direction and also responsibility. We looked at the book of Judges, we looked at the cycle and history of Israel, what they did, and how Israel, because of their behavior, their actions, really cost themselves maybe blessings. And I just really want to emphasize and feeling to you that there is no substitute for God's blessing. If you lose out on God's blessing, it's not something that you can earn back. It's not something that you can wait. God has blessings for your life, and if you miss that blessing, you may not get it back. Blessing could be a job, blessing could be a home, blessing could be a person. If you miss out on that, you take it for granted, you let it go, ignore it, it will hurt us. It's like God gives you a gift, and for some reason we don't take the gift. That gift, instead of blessing us, will not bless us, and it will hurt us because we miss out on that blessing. And that's how the book of Judges reads, because when we look at the nation of Israel, it did. And the foolishness of it, you're just amazed on how God had patience with us. Kathy and I, we talked about that at James not too long ago. How in the world does God have the patience to endure his people? And then we get mad when we get over little things with each other. This is not little things. These were major things, major sins that really cost Israel so much. And I think one of the things that we can learn from the nation of Israel is that when God blesses us, we take advantage of that blessing and hold on to his faith. And here it says in Judges chapter 3, I'm going to read starting here with verse 9. And we're going to look at verses here how the Lord blessed his nation. And in these verses, we are going to look at verses 9, 10, and 11 to see a godly judge named Othniel, and how God used this man and his godly leadership to bring Israel out from their destructive behavior and their sinful ways. And it says in verse 9, and when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them. And that word delivering in Hebrew means rescue. Othniel reminds me of Moses. God raised up Moses to deliver Israel out of the bondage of Egypt. Well, here was Othniel, who was raised up as a deliverer, much like Moses, And it says here, even Othniel, the son of Kenaz, was Caleb's younger brother. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel. He led Israel and went out to war. And the Lord delivered Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand, and his hand prevailed against Cushan-Rishathaim. And by the way, this was involving African countries today, including Egypt. And I don't have to tell you how you have Somalia, you have Egypt, you have all these African nations that have always had a warlike tendency, and still do today. Verse 11, in the land, listen to this, and the land rested 40 years, and Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died. They had 40 years of peace because of this man's godly leadership. I want you to look here in verse 10. And in the first part of verse 10, I want you to focus on this. Two major things happen. Two major things you focus on. First, the Spirit of God came upon us. We cannot do anything as Christians if the Spirit of God is not upon us. If we do not have the Spirit of God in our hearts, in our minds, and in our soul, then we cannot do God's will. We have to have the Spirit of God in our lives to do God's will. The second part here in verse 10 is that he went out to war. To be a Christian, whether it be in the book of Judges or whether it be in 2012 today, it's a war. The reason that we are at war is because, number one, this world is not our home. This world is not our home. I really am concerned that many people try to make this world our home while our home is in heaven. The second thing is that we are always at war with sin and the devil. Remember, the devil is not in the pit. He is roaring like a lion. He is loose. So when you look at those factors, we're going to be at war. And a Christian's life is one that requires a Christian armor. A Christian's life is one that requires that if we stand for Jesus, if we stand for God, there will be war. Now, I disagree with this peaceful prosperity religion that is propagated by T.D. Jakes and Joel Osteen and other so-called people that give you the impression that if you are a Christian, that peace will be in your life always. That you'll never have trials, you'll never have tribulations, that life will be peaceful to you. I'm here to tell you that is a lie. When you become born-again Christian, you are marked by Satan as a target. The world becomes your enemy. The worldly things are those things that will distract you. We must be careful as Christians not to allow those things to distract us from the godly leadership of Jesus Christ. We as godly people have a duty and responsibility to follow our Lord no matter what the situation is. Whether it be in times of war or peace, our eyes should always be focused on Jesus Christ. He is our leader, He is our King, and He is our Savior. And under His leadership, we will always have conquer victory over sin, death, hell, and the grave. So let's look here at the history notes here. The ones that we have here, Judges 3, 5 through 7, and then we move on. It says here that the Israelites discovered. I love that word, discovered. You learn something new, something that you didn't know before, now you do know. Well, the Israelites, the light went on in their head. It clicked. They discovered that relationships affect your faith. No dirt. Relationships affect your faith. Relationships affect your life. Your life is built on relationships. The core relationships in your life are the relationships that make the person you are. The people you hang around with eventually will involve you and take characteristics from you. If you hang around good people, you'll be a good person. You hang around idiots, you'll become an idiot. It's just fact. The relationships that involve you is a circle. And in that circle of life, you have to remember, in our life is a circle. Along the way, you have relationships. From the time you're born to the time you take your last breath and go home to be with God, relationships affect your life in one of two ways. It'll bring you either closer to God or drive you further away.
And the bulk of those relationships is this. Relationships require very important things in a life. Right? Communication. I cannot tell you how important communication is. One of my pet peeves is that if people do not understand what I'm saying. That bothers me. That just turns me off. Communication. Direction. Relationships can either make you a better person or worse. You have communication, you have direction, you have desire. Are the relationships in your life, are they giving you desires to be more godly or ungodly? Are the relationships in your life, are they giving you desires to be energetic and wholesome or depressed? Then finally, life. What kind of relationships will they give you, a good life or a bad life? Or the people in your life, do they make your life better, complete, whole? These are factors that will factor in our relationship. And if you look at the nation of Israel, all of these were negatively affected because of their relationships. And those relationships took a toll not on Israel, not only on their families, but generations down. It says here they compromised themselves to taking God instead of being committed to the only true living God. Let me read that again. They compromised themselves to taking God instead of being committed to the only true living God. This was clearly prohibited by God in Exodus 34:15-18 and Deuteronomy 7:1-4. Here in these two verses, God explicitly told the nation of Israel that they were not to intermarry or to have any connection or relationship with pagan nations. God explicitly told them that. And as a matter of fact, in Deuteronomy chapter 7:1-4, He said that if they did have any communication or any relationship with these, that they would lose out on their blessing. God explicitly told them that. Most Israelites didn't start out as idolaters, and that's true. The nation of Israel did not start out as being a nation of idolaters. They just, listen to this, they just added the idols to the worship of God. You know what? I love this, and I'm going to do this today. When you think of him, what's the first thing that comes into your mind when you think of God? Love, very good. Love. When you think of God, first thing that comes to your mind. Power. Fear. Fear. All those are right on the money, and all those are grand. But I think of God. The Bible says there is only one God, only one true living God. The nation of Israel forgot that. You read in your notes, they did not start as idolaters, but what did they do? They just added idols. It was an addition to the one God. There is only one true God, so that means that all others are not God. Pagan, fake, whatever you want to say. Want to hear something else? This is going to might be started off. There's a certain religion that believes that more is better. They propagate that and they live it. They live it to the fact that they involve their relationship. And the concept came from Egypt, where more was better. Egypt gave you the impression that anything could be a god in their mind. Okay? As a matter of fact, the nation of Egypt has as many as 24 so-called false gods. They had a god for everything: god of fertility, god of the sun, god of the weather, god of love. You name it, they had a god for everything. And much of that was based on astronomy as well. Did you know astronomy first started as a worship of stars? And part of astronomy, the history of astronomy, tells us that much of those stars were named after what? False gods. So you take that all that into consideration of the history of pagan worship, and you begin to really see here that when you think of God, many of the people today think of God as anything or anyone else. When Egypt took over Israel, you have to remember, when Egypt was controlling of Israel, let's go back to some history here.